Good afternoon, dear students. My name is Pusurmanova Г.Б. I am a teacher of English at Nazarbayev Intellectual School in Aktobe. I'm very glad to meet you today, and let's start our lesson. To begin with, we will listen to some sound effects and guess the topic of the lesson. Please listen to the sound effects and say what the topic is. So, what did you hear? Yes, you heard sounds of different modes of transport. Well done, thank you. So, today the topic of the lesson is looking at modes of transport. Our learning objectives are: deduce meaning from context in extended talk on the topic. This is listening objective. The second listening objective is understand extended narratives on a range of general and curricular topics. And the third is speaking. Use appropriate subject-specific vocabulary and syntax to talk about a growing range of general topics and some curricular topics. To make it more clear, let's see. Today, you're going to speak about means of transport and traveling. You will also learn new means of transport. You will practice new vocabulary on transport and some famous places. You will listen to a light-hearted recording of a guided tour on an open-top bus in London. You will check your comprehension of listening. You will do a speaking activity based on the listening and based on some sites in Kazakhstan. And of course, you will think critically. Our lesson is integrated with geography and physics. Okay, so you will listen to some sound effects again and guess the means of transport. You will hear the recording once only. So while listening, you can make some notes of the names of means of transport. Later, it will be easier for you to give the answer. Let's start. So, the correct answers are: number 1, bicycle; number 2, aeroplane; number 3, ambulance; number 4, ship; 5, motorcycle; 6, police car; 7. School bus. 8. Train. 9. Van. 10. Fire engine. 11. Helicopter. 12. Car. 13. Truck. 14. Horse. I'm sure that you know all these means of transport. There are 14 of them. And I'm sure that you had no mistakes. Good job, thank you. Do you know any other means of transport except these 14? Now, you will see some pictures and the words. Match the following modes of transport to the pictures. Bicycle, ship, taxi, scooter, fire engine, airplane, train, school bus. Okay, are these words familiar to you? I think yes. So you have a minute to think and match these words to pictures. Okay, was it an easy task? I think yes. The correct answers are scooter, airplane, school bus, bicycle, fire engine, ship, train, and taxi. Great job. Thank you. What types of transport do you know? So before that, we were discussing the modes of transport. What about the types of them? Actually, there are 3 types of transport. Land transport, sea transport, and air transport. Have you got any ideas? I think you have. The examples of land transport. These all are the examples of land transport. Next, sea transport. Here you can see the examples of sea transport. And the last, air transport. Yes, these are the means of air transport. Now please fill in the blank with the correct word. Use the words that we discussed and complete these sentences. You have 2 minutes. There are 7 sentences given and there is a gap in each one. Please work in pairs and discuss. Put the words into brackets, into gaps. So, when doing such tasks, what can help you? The context. In this case, the context is the sentence. Look at the neighboring words. Think logically. Are you ready to check? Please. The correct answers are: number 1, the ambulance is used to carry sick people to the hospital in cases of emergency. 2, the fire engine is used by firemen to travel to places where fires need to be extinguished. 3, Sam likes fast travel, so he is taking an airplane to Philippines. 4, Jane rides her bicycle to school. 5, yellow taxi is very popular all over the world. 6, the ship in the movie Titanic was so big. And 7, we drive to school by the school bus every morning. So, any mistakes? I hope no. Now let's have a short analysis and see why we have these answers correct. Number 1 is ambulance. Why? Any key words, any helpful phrases? Yes, there are a lot of helpful words and phrases like sick people, hospital, and emergency. Number 2, fire engine. Can you think of key words? Of course, fireman, fire, and extinguished. The third was aeroplane. Why aeroplane? Because fast travel. Number 4 was bicycle. Why bicycle? Because we ride bicycles. 5 was taxi, and it was really easy because it is yellow taxi. 6, ship. Yes, I think you all watched the film Titanic and you remember the ship in that movie. 7, school bus. The key word here is school. Great job, thank you. What about some new means of transport? Can you mention any means of transport that we haven't mentioned today? You're going to see the pictures and names of transport, and later we will discuss them. The first is motorbike. Next, coach. So coaches are used to carry people from one city to another. Next is lorry. Lorries are used to carry goods. This is yacht. It's a sea transport. This is a barge. It is usually used to carry goods, oil, and some other materials. Next is submarine. Submarines can travel under the water. Helicopter. I think you all know this mode of transport. Hot air balloon. This transport uses air. Now please repeat the words after me. Motorbike, motorbike. Coach, coach. Lorry, lorry. Yacht, yacht. Barge, barge. Submarine, submarine. Helicopter, helicopter. Hot air balloon, hot air balloon. Thank you. Now read these words again without my help. Okay, repeat these words again. Coach, coach. Yacht, yacht. Barge, barge. Thank you. Good job. Okay, now open your notebooks, please. Write down the topic, the modes of transport, and write down the new words into your notebooks. You have 1 minute only. Here are the words for you to note down. Have you finished? If yes, then let's move on. Now you will be given some sentences, sentence parts to join. All the words that you have noted down into your notebooks will be used in these sentences. So join and make the sentences. You have 2 minutes. Please work in pairs, discuss together, and join these parts. Start. So, Here are the correct answers. A motorbike has got 2 wheels. A coach carries lots of passengers. A lorry carries things to shops and businesses. A yacht has got sails. A barge hasn't got sails and it travels slowly. A submarine can travel under the sea. A helicopter is made of metal like a plane, but it hasn't got wings. A hot air balloon uses hot gas to get up into the air. So, do you have any mistakes? I don't think so, because we've discussed all these words already. That's why, good job, thank you. Now, I have a question. What is the best transport to travel and do sightseeing? And the answer is double-decker bus or open-top bus. You can see these types of transport in the picture below. So, have you ever used such types of transport? If not, then today we will use them to do sightseeing. We will take a tour of London by open-top bus. Have you ever been to London? Would you like to visit this place? What places are popular in London? You will see the pictures of some places and you will match them with the words. All these 8 places are very well known. They are all located in London. Below the pictures you can see the words and phrases. Please discuss in groups and match them to the pictures above. So, the words given are open-top bus, Oxford Street, Big Ben, Tower Bridge, London Eye, Houses of Parliament, Tower of London and Buckingham Palace. A minute for you to match. Okay, let's have a look at the correct answers. The correct answers are: the first picture was open-top bus. Next is London Eye. The third is Tower of London. The fourth, Buckingham Palace. Next, Big Ben. Next, Tower Bridge. The next, Oxford Street. And the last but not the least, Houses of Parliament. Okay, so do you have any mistakes? I hope no. Excellent. Thank you very much for your job. Now, check your understanding, ordering. We will hear a tour guide on an open-top bus. You will write numbers 1 to 10 to order the places below. These are the places given: Oxford Street, Madame Tussauds Museum, Tower of London, London Eye, Houses of Parliament, Buckingham Palace, Big Ben and Tower Bridge. So please listen and order these places. Put numbers in caps. You will hear the recording once only.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this fantastic tour of London by bus. My name's Greg, and I'm your guide this afternoon on our tour of London. As you can see, we're on an open-top bus, so you can see all the attractions from your seat, and you don't need to walk anywhere. And please don't worry about the rain. I'm sure it will stop soon. And please ask questions at any time.
I have a question.
Oh, yes.
Do you have extra umbrellas? I mean, if it rains a lot.
No, we don't have any extra umbrellas. But don't worry, I'm sure the rain will stop soon. Right, okay, so where are we going on our wonderful tour? Well, the tour takes 2 hours and we are going to visit all the famous sites. First, we'll see Madame Tussauds, the museum with wax models of famous people and celebrities. Then we'll drive along the most famous shopping street in the world, Oxford Street. After that, we'll see the famous clock, Big Ben, and the Houses of Parliament. As we drive along the river, you'll see the popular attraction, the London Eye, from which you can see the whole city on a sunny day. Then we'll see Tower Bridge and the famous Tower of London before arriving at Buckingham Palace just in time for a cup of tea with the Queen.
Is that included in the tour? A cup of tea with the Queen?
Well, no, not exactly. But there's a lovely cafe near the palace where you can get a cup of tea.
I have another question.
Yes?
Can we have our money back? We're getting off the bus.
Well, you see... Quick, run! Everyone off the bus! Don't forget your bag.
This recording was brought to you by the British Council. To find others like it, visit www.britishcouncil.org/Learn English Teens.
Are you ready to see the right answers? Have a look. Number 1 was Madame Tussauds Museum. Number 2, Oxford Street. 3, Big Ben. 4, Houses of Parliament. 5, London Eye. 6, Tower Bridge. 7, Tower of London. And 8, Buckingham Palace. Thank you. Now we will hear the recording again, and while listening you will do the multiple choice task. You will check your understanding by multiple choice. Circle the correct word to complete these sentences. There are 6 sentences given. All of them come from the listening. And there are 3 alternatives in each sentence. Please listen and circle the correct alternative. Let's start.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this fantastic tour of London by bus. My name's Greg, and I'm your guide this afternoon on our tour of London. As you can see, we're on an open top bus, so you can see all the attractions from your seat, and you don't need to walk anywhere. And please don't worry about the rain, I'm sure it will stop soon. And please ask questions at any time.
I have a question.
Oh, yes.
Do you have extra umbrellas? I mean, if it rains a lot.
No, we don't have any extra umbrellas. But don't worry, I'm sure the rain will stop soon. Right, okay, so where are we going on our wonderful tour? Well, the tour takes 2 hours and we are going to visit all the famous sites. First, we'll see Madame Tussauds, the museum with wax models of famous people and celebrities. Then we'll drive along the most famous shopping street in the world, Oxford Street. After that, we'll see the famous clock, Big Ben, and the Houses of Parliament. As we drive along the river, you'll see the popular attraction, the London Eye, from which you can see the whole city on a sunny day. Then we'll see Tower Bridge and the famous Tower of London before arriving at Buckingham Palace just in time for a cup of tea with the Queen.
Is that included in the tour? A cup of tea with the Queen?
Well, no, not exactly. But there's a lovely cafe near the palace where you can get a cup of tea.
I have another question.
Yes?
Can we have our money back? We're getting off the bus.
Well, you see... Quick, run! Everyone off the bus! Don't forget your bag.
This recording was brought to you by the British Council. To find others like it, visit www.britishcouncil.org/Learn English Teens.
Okay, thank you for listening. And do you have the correct answers? I guess yes. Let's see and check. Number 1. The tour takes 2 hours. 2. At Madame Tussauds you can see models of famous people. 3. Oxford Street is a famous street for shopping. 4. The Queen lives at Buckingham Palace. 5. Big Ben is a clock. And 6. You can see great views of London from the London Eye. Okay, all these facts are well known to everybody. That's why I think you have no mistakes. Well done. Now it's time for discussion. Which of these places would you like to visit and why? Please work in pairs and answer these 2 questions. You have 2 minutes, a minute per each student. So, thank you for discussion, and now it's time for role play. Think of any sites in Kazakhstan you would like to visit. Can you give any examples? So, you can think about some famous places in Kazakhstan that are interesting for foreigners to visit. Do you have any examples? I have my own examples. Please have a look. For example, Mideo, it's an ice rink. Next is Shambulak, it's a ski resort. Next is Duman, center of entertainment which is situated in our capital city, Astana. Next is Bayterek Tower, which is also in the same city. Next is Palace of Peace and Harmony. Yes, it's also in Astana. Baikonur Cosmodrome, very interesting place to visit. And Burabay National Nature Park. These are the places that I suggest to the foreigners to visit in our country. Now imagine as if you were a tour guide or a tourist on an open-top bus in Kazakhstan. So we have 2 roles to choose, either a tour guide or a tourist. Choose one of these roles. Okay, did you choose? Good. And now, here are the instructions for a tour guide. For the students who would like to be a tour guide, you will prepare your speech and then give a guided tour. And you must be also prepared to answer the tourists' questions. So you need some background information about the places that you will speak about. Now, instructions for a tourist. Tourists will prepare some questions to ask your tour guide. And they will also ask lots of questions because they want to practice their English. So, tourists, be ready to ask questions about the places you visit. Now, memorize your speech and the questions. Act out your dialogues in groups, 1 tour guide and several tourists. So, it's preferable to have groups of 4, and there will be 1 tour guide and 3 tourists, the students who will ask questions. So, for this role play, You have 3 minutes. Now please, can you provide feedback on the new things you have learned today? What did you learn today? Did you learn any new means of transport? I hope yes. Did you learn about famous places? Let's have a look. Today we have learned new vocabulary, which means that we have learned new modes of transport, such as submarine, yacht, barge, and so on. We have also found 3 ways of transport, such as sea transport, land transport, and air transport. We have also practiced our listening skills by listening to a tour of London. And we have spoken about the sights of Kazakhstan, the places that will be interesting for the tourists to visit. Now, here is the home task for you. Find the information about the history of transportation in Kazakhstan. You can use the internet sources, or you can use the books to find the information about the history of transportation in Kazakhstan. This topic is related to our today's topic, and we will continue speaking about this in the next lesson. Now, here are the references that I have used for my lesson. examenglish.com, learnenglish.de, michelleerney.fr, learnenglishteens.britishcouncil.org, Listening Skills Practice Tour London. Thank you for attention. It was really nice to have a lesson with you, and you can find the given material on moodle.nis.edu.kz. Goodbye.